Hi, this is Drew Tonneson from Dell Technologies. Today I'm going to take you through a video of IBM Storage Defender Copy Data Management. This product is a replacement for AppSync, which is going out of support. I wrote a paper on using this with PowerFlex, so that's what I'm going to concentrate on here, although we also support PowerMax. I'll take you through how to back up a SQL database and restore it to a different target. There's somewhat limited functionality currently for PowerFlex, so I want to concentrate on what is supported so that you can see how it works, and future releases, IBM will add more features as it goes along. So this is the initial screen, the home page, if you will, where you have these different widgets that you can customize the page and see what you'd like to. Under Configure is where you set up everything. So you start with this Sites and Providers, and here you have all the different types of providers that IBM supports in this product. So you can see over here our Dell PowerFlex as well as the Dell PowerMax. I have already configured the PowerFlex here. So you add it based on the PowerFlex Manager UI, so you can see that here. This is the IP for that. And when you add it, then you have access to all of the volumes that are on that box. Now, the volumes show up regardless if they're going to be used in the IBM product. They're going to be listed here. There's a host tab too, which you can see the different hosts. There's no detail here. It's just all the different hosts that are available. You'll see here that it will list NVMe hosts, which it does not support. So currently it's only going to support SDC. And as you click on the different applications here, it opens up these tabs, and you just close them by clicking the X if you don't want them open. So after you add the storage in the back end, you need to add a vCenter. It only supports virtual, so there's no physical support yet. So obviously you need a vCenter. You can use vCenter, or you have to use a vCenter 8. There's no support for vCenter 9, and vCenter 7 is out of support. When you add it, it will include all the different hosts, and if you click on an individual host, it'll have sub-tabs here that you can look at for if there's resource pools, what data stores are attached to it. This is a complete catalog inventory. So once again, there's no filtering being done here about what type of storage backs the data stores, because I've got PowerMax here, which are not registered. I don't have a PowerMax here registered. And then I have other platforms here too. I think I have PowerStore. And underneath the VMs, it will show you the different VMs. Again, it will show you VMs that are backed by storage other than what you have registered. When you finish the registration of the VMware environment, then you can do the application level. So today I want to show you the backup and restore for SQL Server. So here I've registered my SQL source, right? And I'm going to pop out to the source. So this is my source SQL environment. This is standalone. There's no support for clustering yet. So this is just the standalone environment. And in addition to just the standard databases, the system databases, I've got a company database and an IBM test database. So we're going to use the company database for the backup and restore. If I look at the target, same setup, and the target is going to have nothing. So there's no other databases here, so that you can see that we're going to restore the company database to here. So let me go back in here. So my source, and there's my target. So what drives the backup and recovery is SLA policies. So these SLA policies dictate when it's going to take these snapshots that are going to be used for both the backup and the recovery or the restore. So if I click on new, you'll see we have our provider here for PowerFlex. And so what you need to do is you add a snapshot, and then you can set a prefix label if you want to. The snapshot name is always the same here. It's 0. I mean, you can adjust it, just leave it. And then you decide what you want to do with it. You know, do you want to keep a certain number of snapshots? Do you want to keep them a certain number of days? Right. So let's say we'll keep, 10 snapshots. We'll name this IBM Test SLA. Test SLA. The frequency we have to set. So this is daily. We're going to change that to hourly. So we'll do this on the hour. We will take a snapshot of whatever backup we associate this particular SLA with. So right now it's just an available SLA. It hasn't been assigned to anything yet. It's just out there. Now the jobs are the area where you're going to create your recovery job or your backup job. So you can do VM level backups. You can see I have those here if you want to. And then you can do based on the application. So we go in here to our SQL and we'll say new backup. So we'll do a test backup. Again, you're going to do a standalone here because that's what we have set up. And you want to expand this. And those are the two SQLs that I have registered. 110 is the source, 111 is the target. So I'm just going to click on the 110. And then I have the choice of backing up all the databases or only some. As I said, we're just going to do the company DB here. And then here's where I associate it with the SLA for the snapshots. So we'll use our test one here. Now I can schedule a time to have it start, or I can do it manual. We'll just do it manual. And then there's all sorts of advanced features you can put in here if you want to run post or prescripts and things like that. So we don't want to do that. We're just going to create the job. And with the job created, we can run it. So here, we've only associated one SLA. You can associate multiples. We're just doing one. So we'll say OK. Now, if you want to see things running, you have to come down here to this activity and then click on that hyperlink. And then it will bring up the log file, and you can actually watch as it does the backup. So you can see here we have some activity. And down here is where it found the different disks that are part of the environment. And then if you look at, this is the data store name, MSOS, SQL data, and these are the volumes that are on the PowerFlex. So if I go into and I look at my volumes, you'll see I have SQL data here and MS software. And if I come out and look at the snapshots, you'll see it created a snapshot for each of those. Now, one of the things about the SQL backup is IBM takes a copy of both the operating system disk as well as the database disk, even though it doesn't use the operating system disk, but it does take it, just the way it works. It also will not switch pages for you, so you've got to switch the page here. And you can see that it completed. So we close that. The log file moves over to history, so you can still access it. It just goes to the history tab. So now that we've backed it up, we can create our restore. So we'll run test restore, click on the standalone. Two different types of restores here: system DB restore, instant database restore. The difference between them is the system database restore will just mount the device on the target system, and then you have to manually copy files off of it because it comes in as a read-only device. Instant database restore will actually put the database into the target SQL Server. So that's what we want to do. So we're going to expand here. Here's our company DB backup. Click on our copy. This is what backup version we want to use. By default, it's just going to use the current one, which is what I want to use. And the destination. So I can tell it to go to the source or go to a target. I'm going to have it go to the target, and I'm going to leave this the same because I don't have this database on the target, so it's not going to conflict. And then once again, we're going to run it. And once again, we have our log file here we can watch. So you can see here, it's only going to go after the one data store. As I said, even though I backed up both data stores of the VM, it's only going to go for this one. If we come out into VMware here, so this is our environment. This is the target virtual machine. And so what we'll see is the snapshot data store showing up here. Okay, so it's gone through the restore process. So if we come out to our target, so the volume's online now, which means it was able to import the database. So refresh that. And here's our company DB. Now, the company DB on the source system is stored in the same drive as this one, the E drive. When it imports, though, right, it's going to move it to the C drive. Right? So when we go through the process now of cleaning up the restore when we're done with it, the database is going to stay here because it's in the C drive now. So let's see if it's completed here. Yeah, so completed. Go to the last page here. So it's all done. Now you can see here the status is resource active. So let's close this. So resource active means the restore itself is still waiting for the next command. So you can see the log file didn't go into the history. It's waiting for you to decide what to do. Now in IBM Defender here, you've got to right click on the log file. I'm not sure why they implemented it this way. And then you have to choose either to cancel the restore or make permanent. Cancel the restore just cleans everything up. It's going to leave the database there though, because remember it's in the C drive. Make permanent is actually going to move the VMDK. So it's going to come out and take the VMDK from the snapshot data store, and it's going to move it to the home data store of the virtual machine. So we're going to cancel the restore because we don't need the disk. And the log file here, the same log file, it gets updated. So you can see here, resource active, and now it says, okay, you want me to clean up. So it's going to run through the cleanup. And you can watch it go through the process of unmounting the data store and removing it from the environment. It'll start here. So it's got to dismount the disks. So here you can see the data store is gone. Our disk is gone. Remove data store, data store. And so now it's just finishing up here, just removing the volume, unmapping it from the ESXi hosts. If we come back out here just to show you, if I refresh here, my databases, right? My company DB is still there again because it's in the C drive, so it's going to remain there. And that completes the restore cleanup. Completed status done, and you can tell because the log file now is history. So that was just a demonstration of the SQL Server. It also has Oracle support if you need to take copies of that. And then, as I said, future versions of this will add new functionality And if you need more of a guide, you can follow the white paper that I reference in the blog. Thank you.